is that undefeated? I think that's undefeated with spirits. Wow. What's going on, guys? If you want to support our content and pick up this month's amazing Patreon rewards, you can do so at patreon.com/itresolves. If you're interested in custom playmats and sleeves, visit yourplaymat.com and use code ITRESOLVES10YP for 10% off your entire purchase. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another standard gameplay video. We are jumping back into Crimson Vow, but before we do so, if you are not already, please make sure you subscribe. If you are not already, it does enter you to win a free Crimson Vow bundle on November 24th, which we will announce here on YouTube, so please do check that out. But let's talk Azorious Spirits. Clearly spelled wrong in my title here. That's really funny. This is my own version of the list. This is not a final list. This is just one that I thought I would play around with just as a way to test out some of the new cards. Hopefully have some fun with it. Spirits obviously got some major power-ups. Some of which are in the form of new creatures, some of which are in the form of these enchantments. So Hallowed Haunting, a 4-mana enchantment. As long as you control 7 or more enchantments, creatures you control have flying and vigilance. Obviously great, but whenever you cast an enchantment spell, create a white spirit creature token with its power and toughness are equal to the number of spirits you control. The idea is obviously most of our creatures are spirits, if not all of them, and so it should give us an opportunity to kind of throw that out there. And really do some damage. Now, we've got some ways to copy it with Ghastly Mimicry, another new card, which is really exciting. And then a lot of the early game stuff is some of which we've seen before, like the Lunarch Veteran. It's a way to gain us some life. It's a spirit from the graveyard, very helpful. But a lot of it is new stuff that should be kind of interesting. So Dennick is here, gonna shut down anything removing stuff from our graveyard, which is helpful, but only as a 2-of. It is a legendary creature. In the same vein, Dorothea, I hope, kind of gives you that Saint Traft ability that we've seen in original Innistrad, where you create a 4/4 spirit creature token when the creature it's attached to is attacking. Very good. There is an enchantment sub-theme on the Disturb side for spirits this time around, which is why this Hallowed Haunting, I think, can be quite good. We also see that with things like Katilda. Just an absolutely powerhouse card, flying lifelink, 3-mana spirit, pro vampires, so it does have some longevity against some decks that we're gonna expect to see, and then being able to just play it out as a legendary enchant creature is fantastic. Patrician Geist is still in here. It is gonna buff up our spirits, but also make things from our graveyard a little bit cheaper. Skyclave Apparition for some removal. We also have 2 Fateful Absence, just as a way to deal with any big threat that we can't necessarily hit with the apparition. Mischievous Catgeist, kind of just an interesting card. It's sort of like a Curiosity on the enchantment side, but on its own, it's just a creature that can attack in and hopefully draw some cards. So there's some longevity there. And then Devoted Grafkeeper is a way. It is a human peasant on the first side, but it's going to mill stuff and get stuff into our graveyard that we can then play again. And you can also just disturb it out from the graveyard, and it's a spirit. We do only have 1 man land here, the Cave of the Frost Dragon. Kind of wanted to not focus so heavily on that since we've got so many things, but it is nice to be able to have something we can, for a turn at least, throw some enchantments on if we need to. Obviously, they fall off eventually, but that is kind of important. So let's give this a shot, guys. We're probably only going to send it through 3 games, but hopefully we'll have some fun with it, and let's see how it does. All right, guys, here we are for game number 1, and yeah, this is a pretty solid hand. We've got the Grafkeeper, we've got some really nice early games. One thing about this deck is it's very cheap, which is fantastic, but on top of that, it's also, you'll notice, a fairly aggressive version of the list. I don't expect that this is the final version that kind of makes it into hopefully higher tiers than it's been in the past, but I do think it's quite good, so I'm very interested to see how this goes. I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out there. There's no real reason not to. We're not representing anything, so we will throw this out. Now we've got a bit of a decision to make. I kind of want to see if we can get this to go. Now, we may not be able to, I don't know, but this with the Geist coming down next turn is quite good, just because it's going to be hard for them to actually fight through. So let's do this. Let's get an attack in here. Let's see if they decide to block. They might. All right, cool. get some card draw going early here. I feel like that's probably just a good call. And even if it dies, obviously we've got plays later on. It looks like our opponent did not have a follow-up play. That's fascinating. All right, well, let's do this. Let's play another Geist, and let's attack in. Still not gonna block. All right, we get to draw another card. That's fantastic. We're really just setting ourselves up here for a much better follow-up. Now, they're still not hitting lands, which is unfortunate for them, of course. You don't ever love that for the opponent, you know? We'll probably end up throwing that down. Oh. All right, well, that was the quickest game ever. We did it. Opponent didn't have any lands, so that's okay. Let's go ahead, let's jump into game 2. Here we are, guys, for game number 2, and this is a pretty easy keep as well. We've got a nice 2 into 3. We can actually go in a couple different directions here, so we'll see how it goes. Let's lead with the cave. We'll then follow that up with an island. Mana is not going to be an issue this game, most likely, which is great. So, okay, cool. Very good card. That does lead me to want to play this, truthfully. It's just a nice way to kind of... I mean, for a 2-mana 2/3 with lifelink that has upside for our deck is just insanely good value. And so having this out early just gives us a blocker. They obviously can't just immediately attack in. They at least have to throw a counter around or do something if they want to do any of that. And they can't, seeing this is interesting, they can't just fight it off because we obviously have more toughness. So we'll see how it goes. I'm very intrigued. Ah, okay, well, that's very good. Dragon's Guard Elite is a very solid one. Let's go ahead and throw this down. And I think we're just going to throw out Katilda here. This isn't a super powerful card at the moment, but that's okay. It will obviously get more powerful. I think we're going to go ahead and try and attack in here. If they want to double block, that's kind of okay. I'm going to take out the Elite here. The great thing about our deck is we get extra plays even when stuff dies. Now, obviously, that does mean that they can probably just attack in here, but that's fine. It's kind of okay. We did a 1-for-1, and we've got basically an extra card we can play now that we didn't necessarily have before. And in fact, we can actually play it this coming turn, which is kind of ridiculous. All right, cool. So they're just going to power up and attack in here. That's perfectly fine. That's not super relevant for us. This is quite good. I think I'm going to go ahead and do this so we can get that out of there, and we'll just attack in again. Pretty straightforward. Curious that the opponent actually still didn't draw a land. We're up against opponents that seem to be having some mana issues, which is interesting. Now we can block this, which I actually think we do. Now hear me out. This is obviously a bit of a trade-off here, but I think it's a good one for us, so I'm perfectly okay with doing that. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and do this as well. This is going to fill our yard a little bit, give us an option. I like it. And we'll attack in for 2. Now, crucially, we're gaining 2 every time this is dealing damage, so we're kind of doing exactly what we need to. I'm all too happy to block with the Grafkeeper, because truthfully, it's kind of made to die. So I'm pretty happy with this. One thing we might want to do is start. Dennick does allow us to investigate, and as we're getting kind of towards the end of our hand here, that is an option that we might want to look at. So we'll see. Okay, they're gonna fight. Yeah, very good. For sure. Now again, we just get this in our graveyard. Protection is the number of permanents you control. Okay. Perfect. All right. I'm just going to take the 1. We're not going to block. Now, this is kind of the fun part. I think I'm going to do this now. We're going to throw it here. Tap target creature you don't control. Let's get that one tapped, just so we can attack in here with this. And again, kind of keep things moving. Now we get to draw a card every time. So it's like single point and shoot removal. And truthfully, not always, but a lot of the time, I would say even sweepers aren't necessarily the best against this kind of deck. Removal is not at a premium against the Spirits list. That being said, it's still good. I mean, if you get rid of all the creatures, we can't play any of the enchantments, so there is something to consider there, but at the moment, at least, we're kind of doing great. We also just have so much life gain off of this that it's really not a problem. All right, so what do we want to do? Let's throw you out. I guess we should have done this. Let's throw it here. All right. And now we're just going to be spitting out tokens and gaining a bunch of life. So theoretically, we're going to take over this game. We'll see. Now they can just remove the Catgeist at some point, but I don't think they're likely to be able to do that anytime soon. The trouble they are going to run into is it looks like they've got a lot of fight spells, like Blizzard Brawls, which are fantastic. They don't do that much against this kind of deck. When you've got a 6/6 flying vampire, it's a little tricky for them. I'll block the 1/1 here. One thing we do have to keep in mind is that eventually they do get a lot of extra value from having extra stuff, because they do have a lot of strong things in their deck that can build things up. So we want to keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and play the Patrician Geist. That's just really good. And we'll go ahead and play this just to mill ourselves a couple extra cards. Perfect. Unfortunately, just a couple lands, but that's actually kind of okay. I'm fine with that. Now we actually can attack with both of these if they want to kill this with the Mavenda. I'm kind of okay with it. I don't think they will, but they could. But we're going to keep the damage going, and we're back up to 33. So now we've gotten rid of another creature, in particular a flying creature, which is very relevant for us. We've got 3 flying creatures of our own, and just some life total to play with that they clearly don't have. So feel pretty good about this. They're going to Blizzard Brawl. I'm assuming the Geist, which makes the most sense. That's just a very strong card. Might be the Soul Keeper. Could be the Soul Keeper. It really can't be the Catgeist. I don't think they can do too much about that, but we'll see. Okay. They do get their second card, which is helpful. All right. Sure. Interesting. I'm all too happy to take this trade. Again, we're kind of doing okay on that end, so I don't really worry about that. Let's throw you out. It's just to get more stuff onto the field. Again, we're just trying to fill things out here, essentially. They have 2 cards left in hand. They do have this, but I doubt that they're going to do too much with it. And truthfully, we're just powering this Geist up as much as we can. We're going to continue to attack in here. There's really no reason not to. Not going to attack with that. They could trade it for a 1/1, which seems quite bad. But we're, again, just getting our life total out of range of what they can do. And if they've only got point and click removal, like, we're not bad off here. So we will see. But I'm loving this deck so far. It just seems to have quite a number of different options that are, I think, quite relevant. Battlefield and share creature to target. All right. One thing we need to start doing is obviously spreading things out. So we do want to start getting some other things powered up here. Playing this out seems like just a really good play as well. So we probably will end up doing that just to give ourselves 2 really strong threats. I think that's going to be the best option. They're really thinking about what they're going to fight off here, which is interesting. I mean, I would suggest it's just the 3-1, unless they can power something up enough to get the Catgeist going, but then we've got the backup Katilda, so I'm not... Timeout used. Oh, they are going to do it. Can you... How much can you add to this? Ah, okay. I mean, that's really, really good. So they're gonna put counters there. It's gonna power it up enough. That's very cool. Yeah, I mean, you got it. Well done, opponent. They had to really piece that together, but that was really good. I can't complain about it. They got it. All right. Well done. Let's see what we can do then. That took out the... It's really good. Yeah, that took out this. All right. I'm curious if they attack in with it. If they do, we definitely just double block it and kill it. We could double block these, I guess. I think the answer is no, though, given that we're trying to play Katilda here. I don't think that's the right call. We do that, but then we actually can't follow it up, which is kind of a problem. Alternatively... Let's do this. And that allows us to play something else from our graveyard, which I think we'll just play this. So again, we're just kind of bolstering our board as much as we can here. Nope, not that. I'll attack in with just the Soul Keeper. If they want to trade, they can. That's fine. So they're going to double up and kill it, but we're doing a 2-for-1 there, and we've already gotten so much value off of it that it's kind of fine. Cool. Let's see what happens. This Mimic could be really, really good, because what we can do is just keep copying the Geist. And start really, really buffing up our board. Alternatively, what we can do is just copy this and get extra tokens. I believe that works in that way, but we'll see. I'm not gonna block it. I'm gonna let them, if they want to bolster it up, do a lot of stuff, that's fine. They're giving it trample anyway, so that's cool. We've got 41 life, so the likelihood that they're able to kill us this turn is next to none. They are going to get some counters on it, which is very good, and highly annoying. Solely because now they can, if they get another like Blizzard Brawl, as an example, they can easily just fight some stuff off here. Good hit from the opponent, for sure. Got another land. All right. So now I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna copy the Geist, and then allow ourselves to play this. I guess we'll put it here. They have in their graveyard, not a lot. So I'm gonna try and attack in here. They might 3-for-1 it. I kind of doubt it. Okay. Perfect. We're just trying to get stuff off the field then, so that works. Now we've got double Geist, cheapening up all of our graveyard stuff. So now if things do die, it's kind of okay, because we can just replay them very cheaply. But, and more important, we're throwing stuff onto the future Katilda here. All right, so they can give it trample and draw a card. And I just don't care. We've got so much life. It just doesn't matter. Can they activate this multiple times a turn? No. Only once each turn. That's fine. Alright, there's their second spell. These little 1/1 flyers are truthfully the most annoying part of all of this. That's very good. Alright, let's do this. This shuts down the Venda, I believe, if I'm thinking about that correctly. Let's get the 9/9 out now. And again, I'm okay if they want to triple block this. Eventually, Dragon's Guard Elite is what I'm... like, the spread damage that this deck can produce is what I'm terrified of, so we do have to keep that in mind. Good, they drew a land. They can't target anything now. Man, Dennick is, like, super good against this deck. So now they're regulated to the 2 cards they have in hand. Which I'm hoping are basically just dead cards. And it looks like they are because they didn't do anything. Now we can Mimic again, copying another Geist, and we're getting ourselves out of range of things being able to kill us. Now that's scary. A little bit. Oh, even better. Okay, that's fantastic. So let's kill Mavenda. That's our big, like, scary blocker. But that just gets rid of it, so they don't really have a strong play anymore. Sure, you can draw a card. That's perfectly fine. Let's attack here. I guess here as well. It's not a big reason not to. And this is gonna gain 10 life. And hopefully take out a few creatures, yeah. Perfect. Alright. I mean, it's slow, but we're getting there. Now they can start putting 1/1 counters on things. Oh, they had another Mavenda. That's actually okay, though, because this one's a lot weaker. And that was kind of the reason we wanted to get rid of the other one, was that it was a 4/5, which could kill the Soulkeeper here. So now we're kind of forcing them into a situation where they can't do that much. I'm gonna say no blocks. Obviously a last-ditch effort. Yeah, there we go. Yes. All right, well, let's jump into one more game. Let's see what we can do. All right, guys, here we are for our final game, and this is a pretty easy keep here. We've got a nice one into 2 different options, actually, so we'll see which one we kind of want to go with here, but man, we fought the good fight in that last one. That was really, really good. Great to have the Lunarch Veteran in hand early. We do have a little bit of that life gains kind of sub-theme, as you saw in that last game. And so having that early just kind of sets us a little bit above. And that is really our only 1-drop, so it's nice to get it on turn 1 here. Cool. And if it dies, of course, we just get to replay it. Oh, cool. All right, Delver deck. I like it. Let's go ahead and throw this out here. What this does is decentivize them from wanting to necessarily attack in. I'm actually okay to attack here if they want to trade for Delver. I really doubt they would. We also would stick them in a position where they may not have a good follow-up play or a good creature to follow up with, and that puts them at a disadvantage. Okay. Cool. Yeah, you got it. Let's do this. Let's do this. Get the Geist down. There's really no reason to attack here, but I guess we will just for the sake of pretending. There's really no reason to. Obviously it's just a free block, but interesting. Okay. Expressive Iteration is very good. We'll see what they actually pull out with it, though. Nice, because Disdainful Stroke really doesn't do a ton against us. We do have a couple of 4-mana spells, but we don't go any higher than that. Most of our deck is obviously quite cheap. So that's cool. Yeah, dude. Hit me for 3. Please. All right. So we, I think, are just going to Geist. I think that's definitely just the play. What this does is force them to block this and lose something or we get to just draw a card. So that's pretty easy for us. We can also attack in with the Geist itself now. Cool. They're gonna take it. I like it. We get to draw a card. Land is very good. We are gonna obviously need more of it, so let's go ahead and throw that down. And we'll see what they got. The good news is, again, this life gain, it doesn't seem like much, but I mean, you think about it, we've gained what, like 3 life? Say just 3 life, and I think that is actually correct. That's enough to mitigate at least a turn of the Delver of Secrets, which is useful. I mean, that's pretty good, honestly. Obviously, we can block this Delver. I don't particularly want to. I'm just going to take the 3. We're going to double up here with some stuff, so I'm kind of okay with without. Now that's quite good. Let's do this first. We're going to see what we draw if we attack in here. Now they can activate this to discard a card. Looks like they're not going to. So let's attack in with these 2. Again, we win this race at the moment, so I'm not tremendously worried about it. Let's go ahead and get the Grafkeeper in. This is essentially like drawing a couple extra cards with the right top decks. Obviously, we didn't get the right top decks here, but what we did do is get rid of a couple lands, and at this point, lands are not at all what we need. And so I'm all too happy to get those off the top of the deck. Hopefully we can get something good the following turn. Catgeist would have also been quite a good play, because then we're opening up the possibility of drawing 2 cards on the next turn. So I could have very easily gone either way with that one. Okay, sure. Can't do much about that. That's cool. All right, well, let's see what happens. They've managed to get rid of all of our Geists, which is certainly scary. Interesting. I'm gonna attack in with both of these. If they want to trade the spirit, one of the spirits away, I'm kind of all too happy with that. Ascendant Spirit does get pretty good later on, so I'd rather get that gone now. And they did still take 2. That's interesting. Okay. So now what? Let's play you. Let's also play you. Not the most mana efficient in the long term, but I think that's okay. Oh, very nice. What a great card. Okay. Yep. So they can start dumping mana into this, which is quite good. They might be leaving up a counter spell here. I can only assume that might be what they're up to. Let's do this. I'm gonna throw this here. We'll tap this. And we'll tap this, just for the sake of tapping it. So at the very least, we are going to get an attack in here, but we are going to hopefully draw some cards as well. Cool. Now I guess we can just... All right, we won. So is that undefeated? I think that's undefeated with spirits. Wow, let's chat about it. All right, sorry for the lighting, guys. I don't have anything on because I figured why not. But anyway, holy crap, that was really, really good. Overly aggressive, I would argue, on the build, but clearly it kind of worked out. Now, obviously, part of that might just be that it's a new meta, and so we're going to see some random stuff and things like that. But this is such a resilient deck. The fact that the Disturb mechanic allows you to just replay makes it kind of insane. Now, again, this is a small subset of games. This is not meant to be taken as like the end-all be-all of spirits either, but still very good showing from the spirits list. I'm very, very happy to see it. doing well. I hope that it sticks around. I really don't know if it will, but I hope that it does, because it seems like a really cool, like, techie build. And so for me, I just really enjoy that. So we'll see how it goes long term. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Please, again, make sure you subscribe if you're not already to enter that Crimson Vow giveaway. On November 24th, we will announce the winner and they will get a free Crimson Vow bundle. But until then, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later for some more gameplay videos.